What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so we're going over the Detroit Lions. We're going to take a look at, the roster, take a look at their schedule. I'm going to give you my projected starters, and then we're going to finish off with my prediction, how they're going to do next season. But as always, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, and share it. Do all that good stuff. It's always much appreciated. Much obliged. And Vikings video, it's getting pushed back a week, but we're gonna kind of gauge the situation next week, see how all that's going. And of course, my thoughts and prayers goes out to everyone affected by the whole Minneapolis issue going on. Things are a lot real hot. Feel really bad for a lot of the residents there because with the rioters, it's a lot of those people actually aren't even from the community, so the community is just being impacted in a terrible way, and that just really sucks. So hopefully y'all are doing well. But let's just go ahead. Let's dive into this sucker. We're going to take a season preview, and we're going to start off by looking at the roster. So I like the Detroit Lions roster a lot. Real back on that statement. I like it. From receiving standpoint, because Matthew Stafford, I got no issue with Stafford. I loved how he was slinging the ball last year before injury. If he could stay healthy, that would be ideal. They got Chase Daniel there as a backup, but he's all right. He's an okay backup. But Kenny Golladay, solid. Marvin Jones, electric. I love Marvin Jones, especially on fantasy football. He's hit or miss, but boy, when he hits, let's go. Danny Amendola, he fills in a very good role there in the slot. But also Marvin Hall, he was a very good vertical threat last year. Didn't really see a lot of snaps. I think he saw a little over 100, but he was very, very good. And they brought in a few guys. I like the Quintez Cephas. I don't know. This is speculation. This is just me throwing my opinion out. Don't think it's going to happen, but I don't know, man. Maybe they groom Cephas as a replacement for Golladay. If they don't want to pay him, they're going to pay Golladay. But I'm just throwing that out there. Geronimo Allison's there. That doesn't inspire me too much. But like I said, I like what they have there. They have guys that attack all areas of the field. It's beautiful. And then at tight end, I expect TJ Hockenson to be a lot better. He had one really good game last year, and then kind of dud. He was okay. Jesse James didn't really provide too much. I like the addition of Hunter Bryant as a receiving threat, so that's beautiful. Isaac, not even gonna try to pronounce the last name. I'll butcher it, but he served multiple roles last year, and he was kind of brought in as a tight end 3 blocker, or he also played a significant role as a fullback. So nice little weapon they have there. He didn't see too many snaps, but they utilized him very well. So you can take a look at the running back core. They added DeAndre Swift. I thought that was a great move just because I love Kerryon Johnson. Don't get me wrong. I love Kerryon Johnson. But the man can't stay healthy. Getting DeAndre Swift, probably a smart move because that's what they want to do. They want to pound the rock. So they got Swift, who's not exactly, I won't say he's very explosive, but he is a bit elusive, and he provides a lot to the at least from he provides a lot in the receiving game for the running back there. So I think those are going to be the two guys, and I mean honestly that really helps Kerryon because Kerryon, yes, fantastic in 2018. Yeah, 2018. I think it was played 10 games, and in games that he touched the ball 15 or more times, they had like only one loss. But I just don't think he's going to be that type of back. Just because the injuries may be a concern there. I don't know. But looking at the offensive line, I like it. Much improved. Yeah, I think they overpaid the big V there at right tackle. But he's gonna be an upgrade over Ricky Wagner because it's not like he played particularly well there in Detroit. And then on the interior, I definitely think Jonah Jackson's going to end up being the starter. I know Ibushi, they had kind of like big plans for him last year. Didn't really pan out. Frank Ragnow, He was very solid last year in the move to center. Jack Dole or Joe Dole, he'll probably end up being the starter, but I like Logan Steenberg. Some guy I was very, very high on. Going into the draft, I thought he was a third rounder. I wouldn't be surprised to see him eventually replace, probably not this season, but eventually in the future, be the left guard there. And then Taylor Decker, he's okay. He's an above average tackle. So, and honestly, at the tackle position, that's what you need. It's hard to find good offensive line help. You gotta keep Decker, man. Looking at the defense. Defense is a bit more interesting. Let's start with the secondary. I love the addition of Jeffrey Kuda. I think I nailed it. I don't know why I have such problems with his name. But I love the addition there because Desmond Trufant, that's just putting a Band-Aid on, you know. He hasn't really played particularly well the last few seasons. Again, granted, he's been hurt a lot. But if you're going to lose a guy like Darius Slade, you want to bring in some veteran leadership there. They do have, I think they're actually particularly deep there because I love Amani, what is it? Gosh, dude. Aruwari? Bam. He played really good down the stretch. I think he played like the last 5 games, but he played very well. So getting him into the mix, into the rotation would be really, really good. Justin Coleman, he started the season pretty hot, but he kind of faded down the stretch in the slot. But I mean, that whole secondary was kind of not great down the stretch. And then in the safety, Tracy Walker, stellar. Harmon, he's someone very familiar with the system that they have in place there. So I think he's a plus. Expect Jerron Curse to kind of get into that rotation there. He played very well last year in limited snaps there in Minnesota. So the secondary is definitely much improved. I like Jalen Elliott, not a speedy guy, but a guy that has actually graded very well in coverage at Notre Dame. So another interesting name there. So linebacking core, Jamie Collins, I know he's only played well in New England, but he went into a situation in Cleveland where they didn't really understand how to utilize him. You're not going to see that here. They know exactly how to utilize Collins, so I think he's going to see a lot more success. Jared Davis, I fully expect somewhere down the line, Jelani, Tavihi or Ave. I suck with names. My apologies. But I expect him to eventually beat out Davis. Davis great athlete. He just hasn't been a great player. You know, so I expect Jelani to take that role eventually at some point. But they're not exactly deep there at the position. Reggie Ragland, I thought it's a good addition for depth. So we'll see. I think that's definitely the weakest part of their roster right now is linebacking core. And then going to the defensive line, I love the addition of actually everybody. Julian Akwara, he was one of my favorite guys in the draft. Very underrated. Yes, you didn't see a lot of production there at pass rusher for him at Notre Dame. It was like a lot of ups and downs. He was very cold this past season until the Virginia game, and then he got hurt. But you could see the upside. He's a guy that's athletic enough to drop back into coverage. So they like that type of versatility. So I expect him to see the field a lot. Trey Flowers is a guy you're going to see that could pop on the inside or the outside. He's kind of a moving chess piece there. So I think they match up extremely well. They got a little bit of depth there. Romeo, his brother, Julian's brother, Romeo Akwara, I think he's okay as a rotation player. I don't think he's much more than that. And then looking on the interior, Danny Shelton, he was brought specifically in here to play zero tech and play zero tech well. He's going to be a phenomenal run stopper there. So good on y'all. He performed well for the Patriots, so I expect him to do well here as well. I love the additions of a couple of these rookies. Deshaun Cornell, I think he's a guy that you're not going to see him like playing the A gap or the zero tech. He's a guy that's probably going to line up over the tackle or in the B gap potentially. So I like him there. Johnny Pinacini with the best name in football. The dude, he knows how to shoot gaps. He was a very underrated player coming out of Utah, and I was surprised not to see him drafted higher, but I think he comes into the right system here. I don't know if those guys are going to see too much time because Deshaun Hand, he's another guy that they're going to probably play around like that 2 gap to maybe 3 tech, or even probably a little outside of the guard. So he's a guy that they probably will like to use his versatility well. They didn't really use him a lot last year. He only had like a little over 100 snaps, I think. But I mean, the dude was a baller as a rookie, so I expect him to be the starter, him to get a lot more snaps. Nicholas Williams might be in the rotation there as well. So you got a lot of guys on that defensive line. So yeah, the defense much improved. The secondary I fully expect to be much better, and then I think aren't actually they moving Jamal Agnew to receiver? Pretty sure about that. Not positive. I don't want to say something that I'm not sure of, but let me know in the comment section below. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at their schedule. I don't think their schedule is all that bad. First off, they play the NFC in the NFC North, and they play those teams actually pretty well. Yeah, last year was kind of up and down, but typically they're very competitive in those games, and that's what you see actually from division like rivals. They typically play each other very well, more times than not. So I'm not too worried. I think they'll do well in the division. Maybe 3. I think they could go 3-3 in the division. I think that's fair to say. And I think they actually match up very well with the AFC South. So like teams like maybe Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Houston, and the Tennessee Titans. How can I forget about the Titans? I think they actually match well with those teams. I could definitely see them coming out of that like 2-2. And then you got this is a tough one, the NFC South. Because that's going to be tough, facing Tampa, facing New Orleans. Atlanta's no joke. I don't know what to expect from Carolina. They just signed Eli Apple. Maybe the secondary won't be bad. I don't know. We'll see. They went hard on defense in the draft. But, I mean, throw in their other 2 games being against what? We got Washington, which that doesn't scare me. And then Arizona, which... that was a tie last year, so that'll be interesting. But that's a much improved Arizona team. But I think this roster is much improved too. Matthew Stafford could stay healthy. I think they could do very, very well. But let's go ahead. Let's get into the starters. And, of course, Matthew Stafford is going to be the starter at quarterback. I put DeAndre Swift here. I think he's going to probably see more snaps than Kerryon Johnson for 1 or 2 reasons. 1, you can keep him on the field for passing downs. 2, Kerryon Johnson doesn't have a good history of basically not getting hurt. So I think he's going to see the most snaps. Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones, Danny Amendola, same lineup as last year. And I expect Marvin Hall. Did I get that right? Marvin Hall, right? Or because I'll get crucified in the comment section if I say someone's name wrong. But Marvin Hall, he'll come in there. Like I said, that boy, he can stretch the field. He did it very, very effectively. And then TJ Hawkinson, I expect him to play a lot better. He actually wasn't that good as a pass protector, but he was pretty solid as a run blocker. I expect him, again, to take not a huge leap, but to be much better. And they brought in Hunter Bryant to kind of help with the receiving aspect. You still got Jesse James there, so they have plenty of weapons. The offensive line, I think, looks fine. It's improved. I love the pick of Jonah Jackson, Joe Dahl, Ragnow, and Decker. They all actually played particularly well. And yes, they lost Graham Glasgow, which was tough. But I think they did a good job of replacing him. Getting Big V there at right tackle. While I don't know how he'll do at tackle, I think he's better on the interior. It'll be interesting to see. But he's always been pretty reliable in a backup role. And then on to the defensive starters. I just went with the basic 4 linemen. they're gonna do all kinds of weird stuff there in Detroit. But I went with the guys who I think are gonna see the most snaps. Julian Akawara, yes, I'm telling you that dude's gonna see a lot of snaps. Danny Shelton, I put Sean Hand in there, but I do expect it to be a lot of rotation there, even with Trey Flowers coming in on the inside. But Hand is very versatile in his own right. Davis is the starter at linebacker for the time being. And then Jamie Collins. And then at corners, I got Trufant, I got Buda, I got Coleman, Walker, and Harmon. Expect Kurse to be in there. Expect Ariwari to be in the mix there. This team is definitely very improved. But and I hate doing this because, like, I don't know how, but I got them going for my predictions. I got them going 5-11, right? I have them going 2-4 in the division. I think this is definitely a floor. Don't get me wrong. Definitely think this is a floor. But it's like, and I don't feel good, like, saying I don't feel like I could really justify this. It just ended up they when I did their schedule, they lost more of the like roles there, you know? So I definitely think this team's gonna do a lot better. Just happened to go that way after my predictions. Maybe Matthew Stafford gets hurt again. I don't know. But this team definitely could be 8-8, maybe even 9-7. We'll see. I kind of have that division anyway, kind of having a rough time. So those videos will be fun to do. But that's it for the video. Go ahead. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like I said, this is the absolute floor for this team. So let me have it. But until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.